I'm usually the one that says anything conspiracy, I'm jumping on and saying bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But there's something going on I can't quite put my finger on.
I'm thinking it's, you know me.
You think it's just some kind of fucking Illuminati plan these things to make it look like they're thwarting a lot of...
I think that war, we're moving out of war, and we're moving into something else. We're moving into a world where they're trying to get you to be, it's a global fucking ruler. Global ruling. The banks and everything else. And I just think they're moving a little bit out of war, because war is not the patriotic thing. War used to be necessary when we was split and cold and everything. But now it's like everything's becoming global, and I think they're just doing things to make it global so they could just start implementing their
the thing is, and this is always what blows apart any conspiracy theory with me, who's behind it?
Banks.
But banks. So they all get together.
Yes.
And have these meetings and plan
the
this shit.
Bilderberg group, the fucking...
And they plan it.
Yes. The Foreign Affairs, the Committee for Foreign Affairs, it's these guys, they exist. They fucking exist.
So they're the ones.
Old fucking people who just want to run the earth.
We're not ants being controlled by a person. We're all... You understand? We're all on pretty much the same level. And like 2,000 years ago, we were throwing our own shit at each other. And now we have elevators and planes.
But 2,000 years ago, there was...
We're not headed towards this domination by a small group.
Yes, we
I don't believe that.
That's called feudalism. It's because back in the day, there was one dude running shit. And you go, holy shit, I can't do this. Right outside my door is a million angry motherfuckers. So what I got to do is create... about 100,000 greedy motherfuckers who are better. Then you take 100,000 out that million, and they're better than 900,000 people, and give them shit, and they will stomp to say, look, you get the clean the non-bacteria water. All you got to do is step on the neck, push a couple of buttons, tell these 900,000 people that are slaves to money now. We're debt slaves. And then there's 100,000 people who are the haves, and they'll put their fucking William Shatner with his $600 million. You think he wouldn't kill your family, to keep $1 of his Priceline money?
Fucking Shatner.
He'll put his fucking foot on the neck. It's just people are fucked up.
I like how you're breaking it down.
But communism would have worked then. If that was the truth, communism
people fucked up communism.
But I'm saying communism would have won if that was the case. It's much easier to control people if everyone's getting paid the same, everyone serves the government. Communism would have won.
Communism fucked up because the people at the top didn't do the right thing.
They got more.
They were greedy.
And got greedy, right.
Okay, so it's the same people who are running communism are the same dummies who are supposedly going to run the world banks. Like, they're the same. They make these dumb decisions. They make mistakes. They go broke.
That's why they haven't done the big move yet, because it's just not enough of them to stop a panic of 5 million people. Like, as soon as they figure out how to fucking kill a few and control a few, security, they're switching the focus from Arabs to the crazy guys in the hills.
And
those guys got it correct. They're not going to fucking... When this shit starts fucking up, those dudes got it right. It's the fact that it's that racial angle that they always have to push. Those fuckers got it right. They build their own homes. They got their own water. They got their own supply. They do what motherfuckers did back in the day, even though that's not comfortable. But those guys got it right. We got it wrong because
they'll be the ones.
They control your shit.
Knowing how to survive. And
2 million people are under the control of the bacteria that they say that's in the water or whatever. We're just in control. We're being controlled by. That's what I'm saying. Why?
But we're not ants. We are evolving. It's not necessarily becoming a global community, and I hate to sound like some flaming liberal saying this, does not necessarily mean the Rothschilds are going to own everything. I think we're evolving as a species, and we're all going to have a certain level of communication, a certain oneness. And I hate to say it like that, but the idea of country, the idea of country is even a primitive idea, because you're separating your species by stupid, unnecessary boundaries. I don't think that there's a controlling entity that is smart enough. I really don't think so. They're not evolved any further than we are. They're the same fucking dummies that we are.
And I don't think it's a grand plan. I just think it's the way things are progressing because we've come up with things like the internet. It's made the world a lot smaller. Globalization has made like your big World War II things impossible now.
They're trying to stop transportation, period. Like, you see, there's supposed to be no money. Right. But it's constant 80-story buildings being built on the waters. And there's trains and shit on the water. They're trying to slowly control travel, like control your movement, and they build these shitty buildings stacked on top of each other, 500 people in the building, and you can't go nowhere unless you're controlled by
cars
trains.
Are very independent.
They'll just stop trains. They'll stop cars where you need permission to drive. Like, it sounds crazy, but if they do it, you'll be like, oh, shit, they did it. But it's easy to do. They're going to stop. Look at Times Square. They're going to shut that down. Can't drive. Bunch of happy people feeling safe on the red stairs and the stupid whatever they're going to build over, the Disney store they're building to take the place of Virgin and all that shit, and have people just happy. Got to go and get on a train where you have to go, where they won't let you drive. Raising the fucking toll for the Holland Tunnel from $4 to $8 to $12 to 50, they're going to price you out. You have to ride the fucking PATH train or some shit.
And then
to park in Manhattan costs you a lot of money, man.
Yeah, but that's who's going to be able to do it.
$25 basically, wherever you go.
I drive a truck. I can afford, it costs me $40 to just come in and have fun.
Yeah,
exactly. I can afford that.
But riffraff.
Exactly.
Patrice is talking about like the masses.
The masses,
like you're
man.
going to have the upper elite that's going to be able to drive around and shit. Yeah. And that'll be hard to, keep them from coming in, but the majority of people will be under some kind of control.
And then moving you and me or whatever to the side of the ocean where the trains are, so we can get on those trains and go where the fuck they're going to take it. It happened in Germany. Like, what the fuck do you think this shit can't happen? The forefathers didn't want democracy. They wanted freedom. Democracy is not freedom.
No, you're right.
It is slavery. It is 51% of the people control 49%. 49% of the people are slaves. It's two wolves and a sheep voting for what's for dinner. That's what democracy is. So we are under the control of something when you think democratic. It's not freedom.
We've talked about it so many times that you're not free to do anything. You're really not
It's a fake
free.
freedom.
It's a fake freedom. Because
go out there and try to shoot your own dinner tonight.
Yeah. Go out on the streets and just go, I'm hunting squirrels. and you just go in Central Park with a rifle. Right. You will not be free very long.
I'm free in this country,
but that was legal until people started getting shot by people who don't know how to aim at a squirrel, and we all said we don't want that.
Freedom, of true freedom.
But meaning we said we don't want that to be legal anymore. Yeah, we said that as a people, we don't want that to be legal.
I don't know.
That's the fucking
the people that represent us said that.
And we're all willing to give up the right to not hunt squirrels. They can't do this without our own help. They just can't do it. It's not enough of them to do it unless we go, yes, I'll do it. And that's it.
That's been the basis of a community for ages. But true freedom, like you're saying, is anarchy.
Exactly. We had true freedom. We had it. And we don't. It's not true freedom in the sense where everybody could just do whatever they want. Okay, fair enough. We don't have that. But that was voluntary because the species dictates that when we have that, we bash each other over.
Can we figure this out before I move on to the next thing? Is the fact that there's no, it kills me, that there's no basis for our wealth in this country, meaning the money's made up from debt. Debt is now wealth in this country. So all we're doing is spend. We are slaves. The government's slaves to the bank, and we're slaves to the government. But we just say okay. Like even that. Fuck all the other spaceship shit and 9/11. The real fact is you don't own your money. How many times do you pay $7 with a credit card? We don't even carry cash. Cash is useless. So our money is digitized, man. We got digital money. And you don't think they just go, hey, man, Mr. Cumia, we need an extra $2 million. We saw something in our books. What? Thank you. You can't hide it because it's on your card.
Are they doing that by closing down some of these banks?
Yeah, because
that's wiping out
bank.
That's wiping out people's accounts just like that. Because
they're
only insured up to what, depending on the bank.
250,
250,000.
So if you got $1 million in the bank,
all of a sudden you got $1 million. You just
lost 750.
Where is that 750?
Paying off the bank.
But a lot of guys that a year ago would have been called power brokers lost all their money too. Like 2 years ago, a lot of these guys, the head of say Wachovia or all these banks, would have been considered part of that conspiracy.
Yeah, but they're not the Rockefellers. They're not the creators of the. See, people think they got a little cash. If I had, look, give me $5 million. I'm gonna dig a hole and hide it somehow, or I'm gonna buy jewels or something because I know in this system if they'll fuck a white boy, they'll fuck me. It's like Donnie Brasco. I can only be a friend of yours. I can't be a friend of ours. I can't. So it's like these guys that you think $1 billion, they're not Rockefeller and fucking J.P. Morgan, the guys who created this system who said, fuck the Constitution, nigga. We gonna run the world. And that shit happened in 1913 with the fucking, the meeting that they, you see this thing, Why We Fight? There was it's not hitting.
The documentary?
The documentary.
That was great.
When this guy was apologizing, was it Truman? That was apologizing? He apologized for getting us into this. He said, I'm so sorry that the industrial banking system and I'm sorry I fucked us up. I'm sorry. We're fucked. I sold it off.
It was Woodrow Wilson that apologized?
Woodrow Wilson. Yeah. He's apologized.
Not a higher species than us. They're the same dummies that they're the same guys that walk into the bathroom after somebody else stinks it up and go fuck.
That's true. That's true, Jim. And that's the thing. It's smart, they're not that smart. It's the basis that I think that every idea has some validity to it. Like most ideas. There's some ideas that you go, that's just a bad idea. But the idea of the police is a great idea. The idea that somebody's there to help you when you're in trouble, and this is the idea of taxes to help you build shit. The idea of all this shit is great, but when people get the idea of government's fantastic. There's some people that's smarter people, but it's the people that fuck up the idea. Every idea is great, but when you get a cop that's just overly indulgent in power, it becomes a bad fucking idea. I'm just saying that the people in government, once they're smart enough to use these things against us, which they don't give, you just said it. You said it, Opie. You said people just don't take care of themselves, man. Like we're just chattel, man. We ain't shit.
So we'll never really notice because we just kind of get used to things and go.
We're on a treadmill,
as long as you turn the faucet and the water comes out and.
What do you care, Ant? You got a pool
switch and the light
and a
comes
fucking
on.
House, man. What do you care?
Right.
It's just what do you care?
As long as I have it tomorrow and the next day.
So what? It's supposed to be better for Anthony? Is that what you're saying?
It's better for Ant.
Is it supposed to be better for Anthony?
Some of us have to be comfortable. That's the thing about revolt, man. And when people revolted, everybody was fucked.
Yeah,
then it was like close to being late.
All right, I'm just trying to break down a little bit. So if you keep just enough people happy, like an Anthony and myself, whatever, Jimmy probably would be
enough people with the idea of happiness. Yeah.
So then it makes it easier not to have a revolution on your hands.
Because what are poor people attaining to be? They're attaining to be you.
Right.
A poor person is attaining to be me, and then I'm attaining to be you, and you might be attaining to be Bill Gates. So
you keep enough people happy, and then other people feeling like they could attain what Anthony has.
Until everybody sounds like a homeless person.
So that's why
talking about bread in your stomach. Hey, no bread.
I don't believe that one baboon can run the other baboon's life as effectively as you're saying.
A group of baboons might be able to.
Look, man,
have a little more juice.
They're not that much smarter.
Hitler killed 6 million fucking people, man. But he didn't do it. He convinced other motherfuckers to do it. And he was charismatic enough to go, these people ain't shit. Let's kill them like roaches. People are fucking idiots. So he's a baboon, but there's dumber baboons. There's a leader. Think about the baboon situation. You're answering to a higher authority that's telling you you are letting those baboons control you. They are they're reactive. They're not proactive.
Exactly.
They just wait around for someone who wants to kill you to be smarter than them, and then they just say the thing they tried to do is the new rule. And I let them control my shit.
No, if they were proactive, they'd be controlling your shit. To me, if they're reactive, it means they're really not that bright. They're not this amazing controlling entity.
But
we all see
you.
something happen, and we go, you know what? That could be a major problem. It's a chess game. It's a chess game. That's all it is, and it doesn't mean that there's some controlling.
Now, if you don't have patriotism as a motivation, and you got to move into this global thing, there's got to be a leader.
Well, then they're going to have to shut down the internet so we don't get together.
You don't think they're doing that shit? China is the blueprint
figured it out,
for the world. People love the world leaders love China.
But why would the internet have gotten this far? It's like it's impossible to really, or very difficult. Why would it have gotten this far? Like in the last 15 years, for a group that's going to control us and control our thoughts, they have allowed something that is basically uncontrollable to explode all over the planet.
Yeah, because they didn't realize it at first, and it's the same thing with the news. The reason they have to control it now is because again the Constitution is being broken down, and the freedom of press, which is to protect us against the news that they're giving us. Like the internet became something that was supposed to dummy us down, which it does, because now our head is down. Our head's never up anymore, ever. We just down looking at this and that. And really, once we trust in that information, they start manipulating it, and our head's still down, trusting that shit. Look at Wikipedia. That shit, people are flunking out of college behind that shit. Anybody could just say you ain't. Somebody could just invent you.
Patrice, so if you trust the info, you can control the info.
Yes.
If you know the people trust the info, then you can control that info.
That's right. Once we
kind of like that thought.
You know, I mean, it's just
kind of like it a little bit.
Look, it sounds like crazy rantings, but I can't believe people just don't have maybe 45% of this.
So what kind of timeline do you think before the majority of people start going, oh, fuck, we got ourselves in some shit?
I don't know. I mean,
like, because there's got to be a turning point where the majority of people in the country or in the world, even if this is a whole world thing, turn and goes, wait a minute, this isn't like it was. We're kind of really Here's what kills me about people. And one thing is that we're so willing to move on from something that you go, wait a minute, can we figure this out before I move on to the next thing? There's too many people. They want us to take fucking drugs and fucking vaccines that don't work. There's fucking people who are doing that. Patrice is talking the guy that in the movie, your brakes would give out on your way home.
I just believe it.
That's what happened in the movie. Patrice's brakes give out. What happened?
I like what Ant's saying. If all this is true, what you're saying, you're going to have a rough ride home.
No, it's too many. There's too many.